Yes, you've heard the title. I will be talking about Forsaken Slop content 3 months later after some people made videos talking about it. Now, before we get into the video, I am not openly criticizing any YouTubers for what they are doing. I do not care for what they do with themselves. It's their decisions for what they want to do for their channel. But anyways, without further ado, let's get started. Now for the start, there are some things about this part that would make a lot of sense on why it's an issue. First of all, it's some of the way the thumbnails they make. Not all of them are really bad, as I find some really good, but there are some thumbnails that are just completely different out of the nice thumbnails. The most best way to make an example out of this is when the YouTuber goes against a toxic player/teamer in a game. Now, the way that some of the YouTubers do it is where they get clips of the toxic player and his behavior, edit the entire thing with goofy sound effects to probably taunt the dude, and then make a thumbnail that just makes it sound out of pocket. Now, you can make them out of pocket a bit as long as it's actually true during the video, like, take this video thumbnail as an example for where this one player attempted to say the N-word, and that actually did happen. But when you see thumbnails like these made by another YouTuber who makes content about dealing with toxic people as well, it just sets the toxic player as a bad person by editing the text box by saying things I bet the toxic player didn't actually say in the video. And the part that some people do not get is that it actually makes it worse, considering you are adding fuel to the fire in that situation rather than extinguishing it out. And in a simple and a nice conclusion to this, if you are making content about dealing with toxic players, try to have a bit more of common sense and not twist for what they said into an out-of-pocket thing in a YouTube thumbnail. Not only that you are falsely defaming them as more of a worse person than they already are with their actions for what they did, you're pretty much adding fuel to the fire by making thumbnails for them falsely saying things they haven't truly said. Let's get into another topic. Now, before I elaborate on this topic, I want to admit that yes, I've made Forsaken Slop shorts before to fit into the trend. But I stopped as soon as I hit 3,000 subscribers because it felt boring to edit, and there was zero variety into the slop content that I was making. Anyways, to state about this topic, I want to say that I think Forsaken Slop content is just views/money-making content. And I think there are many obvious reasons on why that would happen. First off, if you make slop content shorts, you can instantly notice you will rack up 10 to 20,000 views as a small content creator with a couple of thousand subscribers. If you make slop content as a YouTuber with 100,000 subs, however, you can average 50 to 200,000 views per short, which is utterly insane. But the problem I see with the YouTube Shorts algorithm is that I feel like they do not count YouTube Shorts with some effort put into them. And if I have to be brutally honest, since I used to be a Forsaken Slop content creator, the shorts that it took me to make was 15 minutes per one. All I needed was an 11-lab script, some basic editing, subtitles, and some clips of the topic, and boom, you got a 20-second short that took almost no effort to release. And if I had a free and open mind to state my opinion without being openly criticized by people about it, I would like to say that Forsaken Slop content is just a free way to make money and views. And I feel like the algorithm mainly counts slop content more than shorts with actual effort put into them. They should at least equalize it between the both of them so the other side can get the fair attention with the slop content. And as a YouTuber, I love to edit videos, I really do. But when it comes to making slop content for money and views, it just doesn't feel fun editing anymore because it's such a short amount of time. And I get you guys like on how simple and short they are, and they tell you useful information that you need to know. But you also need to know this. There are 1.4 million members in the Forsaken Discord, so I am sure that majority of the audience know about it already. And the second problem is that when it comes to slop, you don't need to post multiple shorts showcasing each part of one singular update. You can just make less shorts with multiple stuff. For example, instead of shoving one part of the update into one short, maybe get 2 to 3 parts of the update into one short so it looks like you did it with effort put into it. Now, before we get on to the last topic of this video, let me remind you again that I am not openly criticizing any YouTubers for what they do to their channel. It is their own choice and responsibility for what they want to do to their channel. Let's get into the last topic. Now, the stuff that concerns me the most is the entire dynamic of Forsaken Slop content. The reason on why I choose to use the word dynamic for this last topic, and this is because that from my perspective of seeing Forsaken Slop videos, it's somehow either evolving or changing situations in other videos with Forsaken Slop still being a part of it. And if you saw the examples at the beginning of the video, you can notice the YouTuber uploading videos about different situations, except the editing style is still the same, the act is still the same, pretty much all of the editing is the same. But on a serious note, you guys can completely notice the dynamic between Forsaken Slop. Whenever it comes to some YouTubers, they would upload a video about a different situation, but however, the complete editing style and effort still remains the same. It's constantly changing, but not the situations that unfold with it. I'm not saying the entire dynamic needs to stop because I am the one that has an issue with it. That's not how it works. What I want for the entire Forsaken Slop to settle down is for the YouTube algorithm to include some shorts with effort on it so it can get as equal attention as Forsaken Slop content, so things can be kept fair between the two. Just remember, I am not making a video for where I'm hosting a political campaign to stop Forsaken Slop content. I just want to share my opinion and my points about Forsaken Slop still being around. And as a matter of fact, I think I like whenever people enjoy for what they want to enjoy. It's for what they want to do. But in a YouTuber's way of pointing things out, if I simply did slop content, my channel will continuously just grow and grow, but I do not feel like doing slop content anymore. And that is completely up to me for whatever I want to do for my channel. So the entire dynamic of the Forsaken Slop community has to settle down at some point for what they do and for what they want to include. Because the thumbnails I have shown earlier just put some really obvious points on it. And in conclusion, the YouTubers just have to be careful for what they put onto their videos, because false things for what they say equals more drama and pretty much some small reputational damage. Well, that's all for this video. If you've enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to drop a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.